Wow.
Well,
that was very moving to walk out to that.
You got upset again?
No, I got happy.
Oh, good. Okay. Because, you know, I think that there are two sides to every story, and I just thought it was just, there's got to be lots more going on, but I wanted to find out why you were upset. I can understand why you were upset, Joan, because whenever anything happened to Joan, you took up for Joan. Whenever anything happened to Melissa, you took. So I totally understand that. But what happened that you were so upset?
A lot of things. It was really just the tip of the iceberg, what you saw in the room. And number one, I'm a competitor. And I've done other shows, and I'm a very competitive person, and nobody likes to lose. And you know what? I really didn't like high school the first time. And I felt like I was back in it again. And I think I got a chance to sort of stand up and say what we all wanted, or a lot of us wanted to scream at the top of our lungs in the lunchroom.
Which is whore, pit, viper.
Yeah. Which is, well, no, it was really supposed to be whore, period. Pit, viper, period, but
You combined all whore, pit, viper.
It was poor enunciation, and, you know, I don't think the University of Pennsylvania is so happy that I could not enunciate and punctuate. But it was a moment of true emotion.
They were being so bitchy backstage. Those two girls, it's like the old high school girls. And then the camera comes on. Hello.
Yeah. You know, and I think I seem to have hit a nerve with a lot of women and people who, you know, you got drugged to the principal office and the two, you know, good girls are like, she stole Bobby's money. And you're like, oh, man, here we go. Yeah, I took it even if you didn't.
Right.
So, you know, it was a moment.
And how are you feeling about what you said about poker? Because we were joking about it in the beginning of the show, but you don't hate all poker players.
Oh, for God's sakes, I play Vegas. They bought me this. You know? No, but Annie Duke is like the Bernie Madoff of poker players. I mean, she just will do anything to win, and I like be honest and be honorable, and I say what I think about you to your face.
Right.
And I don't like, and then behind your back screwing everybody, including that poor dumb Brandy who doesn't know what the hell is being done to her.
Well, okay, yeah.
Don't ask her to spell mom backwards if she's had a drink. She's just being so manipulated.
Is that what? Because I was going to say, what do you feel about? First of all, we don't know. We don't know if Joan comes back, and I'll ask you, but you're probably not going to tell me.
Well, I'm very torn because they don't pay you. So it's very hard to go back because you get so
emotional.
And
this show really did. There was a lot of personal stuff, and again, you know, you're in a competition. It's all successful, competitive people. And
they're being bitchy. Just say what you think.
No, and on top of it, you know, it's a lot of personal attacks. And I believe in, and I've shown this to shows, I've played with honor. I have not gone into the gutter, except for those 3 minutes, but I was very honest about it. And I'm not taking back what I said.
So you don't regret, except for putting a period after the word whore, you don't regret anything.
Yeah, you know, my parents paid a lot for my education, and I feel a bit ashamed. That I did not punctuate
I didn't realize
properly.
there should have been. I've never heard whore, pit, viper in my life before.
But you have heard whore, pit, viper.
Yes.
You know. Just not with a comma instead of a period.
It brought back memories of my husband and me. And that was his way of making love. He'd say, whore, pit, viper, and I'd go, okay.
All right, so
she made these a compliment.
And you brought something for eBay to help raise money?
Very exciting.
It's over. I know, and it's faux.
Thank you.
Crocodile.
Thank you.
It is faux.
Thank you.
Here, I can do this.
And it's got over $500 worth of
Joan Rivers product.
Joan Rivers products.
Look at
and
that.
we're going to sign the thing, and it's fabulous. It's a great bag.
I
Chic.
appreciate that so much. Thank you so much, Joan and Melissa. Hi. How are you?
I know, I just wanted to say I'm having a very emotional day.
Yeah? Well,
Yeah.
They
ebb and flow.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, you just, the Daytime Emmys were last weekend.
Yes.
And there was a huge tribute to your mother, which was beautiful.
Thank you.
And, but I can't believe she only won an Emmy once.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
She's only, never won a primetime Emmy. And the only one she ever won was she won one daytime Emmy.
Wow.
And, you know, is it a point in her career where the daytime community really embraced her, and she was so loved by that whole group. And to walk out and have so many of the producers and all these people that she's worked with for all those years be there and stand up was a very emotional moment.
It's a very strong community. I also feel very embraced by the daytime community and have been very blessed by, everything. So
Yeah.
it's a wonderful thing.
And I think she would have liked the dress, except it was way too conservative.
Really?
For her taste. I mean, for
Right.
her, she would have wanted me, which I talk about in the book, everything hanging out, nothing to the imagination.
You had very different tastes in the way you dressed. Like for her birthday, probably Jasmine's look would have been really good,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That would have been,
Yes.
She knew what to do for her mother for her birthday. She knew. So it's a really sweet book, and it's a tragedy that you had to write this book in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But it must have been bittersweet because there are amazing stories in here that make you laugh. And how tough was this to write?
It was tough, but my mother, she always had this joke that she wanted to write a book with me before she died called Comedian Dearest. You know where this is going.
Yeah.
So that it would be in the safety deposit box, so as she would say, once her head hit the floor, I could just publish it right away.
Right.
So I wanted to write something that would make me laugh and would make her laugh and would make her fans laugh. And I think I set the tone with the dedication, which is for my mother, whom I think about every day, and to my father, who, as of this past September, is no longer resting in peace. And yeah, that sets the tone for the book. But it was cathartic. It was I wanted to call it cheaper than therapy.
Yeah. But you say, she jokes saying comedian dearest, but she was a great mother to you, even though she gave you advice on how to be a good mother, which I thought was interesting. She was always self-deprecating anyway, but tell people what she said.
Oh, there were lots of things she said. She always just said that I was actually a better mother for Cooper than she was for me, which on the surface sounds like a compliment. But then you stop for a second and go like, wait a minute, what's wrong with me? If I'm doing so much of a better job, like, do I need to go lay down? I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah.
But she's funny.
Yeah.
And, she lived for my son.
Yeah, Cooper is how old, 14?
He's 14.
Wow. And I know they were very, very close.
Very close. He's 14 now. It was a big, big blow to him. But, he's a teenager, so sometimes he actually looks up from the phone and I see his eyes and I can see if he's happy.
Yeah.
But, my mom, it's so funny because when I was growing up and my parents would come to every game and it turned out that my mother used to actually be asleep behind her sunglasses and never learned anything about sports. And with Cooper, she would actually, she had her chair, that she would carry to the games and the practices, and she would actually stay awake, and sometimes she even knew which team scored. So, she really loved him.
So she went to Cooper's games, and was she...
well, she went dressed like that.
I was going to say...
Yeah, she always went in full hair and makeup. And I used to call her it was like Johnny Cash. She would always be all in black and heels and the whole thing. Because she was always, her thing was, I don't need some snotty 8th grader going home to his parents and say, I saw Joan Rivers and she looks like crap.
She was dressing for the 8th graders.
She was dressing for the Santa Monica Dragons 8th grade lacrosse team.
Hilarious. Hilarious. I want to read this. Her jokes are just timeless. And I think it was it the 60 Minutes piece where she showed the filing cabinet of all the jokes that she's kept over the years? I remember that piece. She's just got so many jokes, and they just stand up. My love life is like a piece of Swiss cheese. Most of it is missing, and what's there stinks. Looking 50 is great if you're 60. My best birth control now is just leave the lights on. The first time I see a jogger smiling, I'll consider it. I hate housework. You make the beds, you do the dishes, and 6 months later you have to do it all again. Just really great, and sweet stories, and she really was a pioneer. And an amazing, amazing woman.
And you're in here.
I know. I was flattered to see that. That's so sweet. And she was very supportive of me. So she was an amazing woman, and we are sad that she's not with us anymore. I'm so glad you wrote the book.